All right, we're here
Okay.
with Ivan. Ivan, what's your question?
Yes. So as a Dhamma practitioner, we live in society. So the thing that I found to be so nice to keep remembering was I don't have to follow the value of society. And it sounds simple, and I do want to remember again and to talk about it again, because sometimes the mind forgets, and I guess old habits, and I didn't even realize it. I don't even realize I'm having that view of society say this, so I'm gonna follow it until I was able to take a step back and see, oh, okay, so this is what's happening. So yeah, I want to talk about that.
Yeah, sure. We'll start off with this. It's worthwhile to not make a whole lot of trouble in society. Okay? Especially when the majority of society does things a certain way or agrees with doing things a certain way. We don't need to be the ones to push back against that so much. Okay? For example, if you want to go into the store, they say, hey, you got to put a shirt on. And we can be like, okay, well, that's all right. We'll put the shirt on. We'll wear that shirt happily. We can go into the store. It's, it's not related to morals or virtues or anything like that. It's just we can be peaceful. And we can also put it like this. We don't need to be bothered by society's rules, by its limitations. Okay. We can still feel free and even be free regardless of what society says or how they treat us. And there are even ways of sort of getting away from society, or at least distancing ourselves from society, getting into seclusion. And those are worthwhile things to practice. Now, another thing that we can talk about is there are many different types of relationships, okay, that each and every practitioner has. Okay. So there is, for example, the relationship that we have with the breath. There's a relationship there. For some, it's a happy and joyful and content relationship, and filled with thoughts and feelings like, oh, wow, this is nice. It feels nice to breathe well and take it easy. Yeah, just enjoying the breath. The breath, my dear friend. We can be friends with the breath. There's also, of course, the relationship we have with the body, the relationship we have with the mind, with the thoughts, with feelings, with memories. Those are all different types of relationships. And we continually make the choice of whether or not we are going to be kind and friendly and peaceful in those relationships. We're presented the opportunity to make that choice every moment. Okay, and then expanding out a bit, there are the relationships that we have with the people that we interact with on a daily basis. Perhaps family members, bosses, coworkers, the people that work at 7-Eleven, the person that fills up your car or your motorbike with gasoline. These are all different relationships. And again, we have the choice. Are we going to be peaceful, kind, friendly in these relationships? Are we going to be mean and cruel and hasty and in a rush? Or rude? Are we going to be honest? And then we can also look at their relationships we have with things like animals. Okay. In fact, right now, there's a cat. I'm petting the cat. I have a little bit of a relationship with this kitty. Okay. And we have a relationship even with the bugs, the birds, different sort of creatures, animals, insects that exist in the world around us. We could even go smaller than that with the bacteria. You can sort of choose which bacteria to keep around and which bacteria to get rid of. Some bacteria is worth getting rid of. If you don't wash your hands, if you don't kill that bacteria, you might get sick. Is that worthwhile? And there's no perfect way to be in any of these different types of relationships. We have a relationship with the trees, with the plants, quite literally. How much carbon dioxide you breathe out? Well, that's how much food the plants near you get. So you have an impact on their growth, how they're growing. Again, are we going to make those kind of relationships kind, friendly, peaceful? Or are we going to be hurtful, unkind, in a rush? Are we going to pay attention to those relationships? Now you can see with all of these different types of relationships that we have, coming all the way down to the breath and the thoughts and the feelings, going all the way out to, wow, we have a sort of a relationship with even the whole world. Wow, there's this war in another country, and it's affecting your wallet, the relationship you have with your money, changing the price of gasoline and other things. And so what's your relationship with money now? Are you worried about it? Are you at peace with it? Are you okay?
There is. Oh, sorry. I thought that was a
Yeah, go ahead.
question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's just when it comes to money, there's still a bit insecurity, but overall, okay.
Yeah, there's that insecurity. Exactly. There's that insecurity with all of these different types of relationships for different kinds of people. Some people do have insecurity with every single one of those types of relationships that we've mentioned. Okay.
Makes sense.
I mean, even people who practice the Noble Buddha Dhamma, they may have a really nice, pleasant, peaceful, and joyful relationship with their breath and with their thoughts. But then when they go and they talk to their family, it's not so peaceful anymore. It's not so pleasant. There's maybe a bit more thoughts of anger, discontent, dissatisfaction. Now, again, all of these different types of relationships are not something that we need to be taking seriously. They are not something that we need to feel in a heavy way. We don't need to see any of these relationships as burdens. Again, they're just more playful opportunities. It's another chance to see how we can enjoy life. Yeah, wow, we can still enjoy life while petting the cat. That's an easy one. Yeah, we can still enjoy life while getting some gasoline at the gas station. And we can give the person who gave us the gas a smile. Of course, in some countries, they don't do that. They, like in America, you put in the gas yourself. But still, we don't have to feel so dissatisfied when we watch that number go up. We can have thoughts like, well, that's just the way it is, and that's okay. Again, we're coming back to, we don't need to be bothered by the way society changes, by the way our friends change, by the way the companies we work for change, by the way our bosses change, by the way the weather changes. Right now in Thailand, oh, it's getting hot. It's getting quite hot. Mikey's melting. Okay. But we can enjoy that. We can enjoy it getting hotter. We can enjoy sweating a bit. Oh, it's nice to sweat. It's kind of refreshing. Some people will even sweat on purpose. They'll go to something like a sauna. They'll pay a whole lot of money just so they can sweat. And they call it a detox, getting rid of these things in the body. I've got a free sauna here right on the porch, right here in Thailand. You can sweat all day. Don't have to pay a dime. And some people go the other way. They pay a whole lot of money to take an ice bath. Sort of thing. Maybe even get a gym subscription so they can get a weekly ice bath. Okay, so bringing it back to the Dhamma, bringing it back to the practice. It is not our job to change anyone, not even the cat, not the trees, not the plants, not the ants, not the mosquitoes, not the politicians. It's not our job to change the price of gas. Because where do we start instead? We start within. That's something where we can make a change. And where we can really see the change happening. Because you can't see into the mind of another person. You can't read their thoughts. You don't know what they're thinking. You might be able to guess, but you can't keep guessing. You can't keep reading someone's mind. And here's the thing about this body, this mind, this breath. Guess what? We don't even have control over that. There's a lot of that is not really our business either. Or we can say in another way, a lot of the way that the body is, the way that the breath is, the way that the thoughts are, it's not our fault. Now, there's a clear distinction to be made here, though. Just because the mess is not our fault doesn't mean that it's not worthwhile to clean it up. Because guess what? Nobody else is going to clean it up. So here's a mess that we can clean up. There's even a mess in here that we can clean up. There's the breathing is maybe a bit rough or a bit too short. So let's clean it up a bit. Let's brighten it up. Let's lighten it up. Let's enjoy it. All of those other messes in society, we haven't a clue what to do about them. And we don't even know if those things are really messes or not. Again, it's not necessarily a bad thing that oil's going up. That might finally convince people to start using solar more. I don't know. I have no idea. There's this joke by George Carlin that perhaps human beings were put here by Mother Nature just to make styrofoam. That's our purpose. Styrofoam and maybe some plastic also. And that's all nature needs us for. Once we make enough styrofoam, Mother Nature's going to kick us out. We're out of here. We will be gotten rid of. Now, that's just a joke George is making. But what he's pointing to is that we've got no idea what the purpose of humanity is. We've got no idea what a perfect life looks like. We can't even have a perfect breath. You want a perfect world? Fat chance. And notice that there's really no such thing as a perfect breath. But there are breaths that we delight in, breaths that we pay attention to, breaths that we enjoy. And then there are breaths that we don't enjoy, that we don't pay attention to. So which one sounds like it's more worthwhile? Take pleasure in the breath. Take pleasure also in being away from society. The room you're in right now would not have been built without society. So we don't need to curse society. We don't need to say, damn you, society. You're the reason for all my problems. Because in a way, society, it's actually giving you a way to get away from it. You're in a way away from it right now. Yes. Or we can say its shackles are not as tight on you current. Same thing's true with Mikey. There's no 7-Eleven here. There's no Starbucks. There's a blanket. There's a cat. Not much else. But would not have been given this opportunity to be here in Thailand without society. So yeah, we don't need to curse society, but we also don't need to be so harsh on it either. And we don't need to necessarily stick around it though, either. In a way, we can say it's okay to kind of get out of society's way, let it pass, let it do its thing. And for people in society, this isn't going to be easy to hear for a lot of them, but for a lot of people in society, that's what's going to bring them peace too. Guess what? These leaders that are sending people to war, it'd be great for them to take a break from society. They're spending way too much time in society. They're surrounded by TV cameras and people talking to them all day long. And I mean, they are really deep in the trenches of society from the moment they wake up to the moment they go to sleep. And truthfully, even while they're sleeping, they're still dreaming of society. They're having nightmares about society. I mean, can you imagine that? If all these people that are at war said, hey guys, you know what? We all need a break. We all need to take a break from society. So let's just take a moment, stop fighting. So this idea of taking a break from society, it's not an idea of like, oh, well, we need to destroy society or we need to let society rot. It's just more so pointing to that when we get too involved, that is actually what makes things a mess.
Agreed.
You can almost imagine it like a gardener who wants to take care of a flower. And so they cut this piece off and then they cut this piece off and then they keep cutting the flower and they keep adjusting it and they keep touching it. And before they know it, the flower's dead. It's wilted because they've done too much. They haven't given the flower room to grow, to blossom, to breathe. Okay, so in the same way, don't let society touch you so much and mold you and do with it what it wants to. Take a step back away from it and take it easy. Breathe in, breathe out. Don't worry. Be happy. Does this clear things up a bit? Any
Yes.
questions? Anything to add?
I have a question. It's almost like, okay, not sure. Maybe I'm judging myself too much, but I do catch myself the tendency to, when I get back into society, which happens every day when I get back into society, like there are just something that's really sticky. Like I catch myself this. Like I catch a part of me that really wants this validation, right? And then I also catch that part of me that judging that part of me that wants that validation, and then that's where I have this very weird rule. I make up this rule and I'm fighting with myself and and then it was only until when I, like basically right here, right now, when I'm in a room, when I'm away from it, my mind gets a bit clearer. Then I was like, I don't have to do any of that. But basically, in that moment, it's not clear to me. Maybe it's clear, but at the same time, I can't really, like you said, it felt that way for me. Yeah.
Okay, couldn't hear the word that you were using. You said you were getting or you're wanting something from society. What was the word?
Oh, validation.
Oh, validation. Validation. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah, that's just seeking sort of a reason to be, a reason to be the self, a reason to exist.
Yes.
It's like you're looking for a reason to be okay instead of just being okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. That's super common. Yeah.
And
Um,
it's only when like when I'm in seclusion, like right here, right now, that I can see that, oh, actually, I don't have to do any of that. But I get it. It's a practice. Like, that's why we practice. But yeah, I'm not
well,
sure.
you can practice outside of seclusion too.
I agree.
You
I
can
agree.
practice while you're talking to people. Take a moment. I mean, we don't always need to be in such a rush when we're talking to people, for example. If the conversation gets a little heated or it starts to go in sort of a direction where our mind is dipping into dukkha, then we can take a moment, just kind of take a natural pause in the conversation and just say, you know what, everything's okay, we're all right. We don't need this, whatever it is. We'll be okay either way. And then continue. I like to tease my boss. I'm like, I'm okay if you fire me. It's not a big deal. And that makes them laugh. It actually eases the tension in the room. But I'm telling the truth is the thing.
No, that clears something for me here. I think beneath it all was a fear of like there's this preventing, like again, I made that up. I don't know, just basically preventing something from happening. So it feels like in a lot of this context, I'm walking a tight line. I'm laughing at my way of describing, but yeah, there's sometimes that feels that way. Not all the time, but I would say like half the time, it feels that way. Yeah.
Here's another example. Someone in society accuses us of being lazy. That's a great moment to say, yeah, it's okay for us to be lazy. Well, I'll be the lazy one. You can be the hardworking one. I don't mind that. Okay, these labels that society or just different people, friends, family, whoever, like to put on us, we can kind of point at that. Hey, that label's not a big deal. It's just a label after all. It doesn't really mean much of anything. Just like boss is just a label. Boss doesn't really mean much of anything. Sometimes the boss is the one who cleans the toilet. In fact, some people would even say that's a great boss. Is the kind of boss that'll go and clean the toilet themselves. That's a really great boss. And Dhammarato likes to say, be your own boss. Be your own doctor. Be the king or queen of that pile of dirt, which is that body and that mind. Because even if you don't have complete control of it, you can make a change. You can make a change to the breath. You can make a change to the thoughts, to the mind.
It clears up. It clears a lot, Mikey. Thank you. Yeah, I still see some part of me. I mean, yeah, not surprised. That have aversion towards the label of lazy because being conditioned that my whole life. So, but like you remind me, that's not a problem at all. So, thank you.
Yeah, another thing to look at would be famous people. Okay, so famous people get all sorts of labels thrown at them. Okay, all sorts of labels, really nasty ones too. Okay, and also the boss of a company gets all sorts of labels thrown at them. Oh, that boss is too mean. They're too strict. Oh, our boss is too lazy. We're the ones doing all the work. The boss gets thrown all sorts of labels. And most people who take on positions like that, or who get involved in something like that, like becoming famous or becoming the boss, they oftentimes don't receive the necessary training to be able to be with that happily. So they'll often get quite upset, quite affected by these sort of labels that people throw at them, by this sort of gossip that happens about them. Okay. And people gossiped about the Buddha too. Shoot, they still do. They still gossip about the Buddha. They say, oh, he could do this, he could do that. The people in other religions think he's a demon, even. The people in Buddhism think that he had a trillion past lives, and there's all these stories about him that they don't really have any idea of. They just kind of make them up. They gossip about him. And Buddha was okay. So let people gossip. Let them say those lies. Let those fall off your shoulder. Brush them off. It's not a big deal. It's just another pointless label that doesn't mean anything. Because guess what? Those people that give the label, they are not looking into their own mind. They are not practicing. They're practicing ill will. Okay. And when you allow those labels to affect you, to bother you, you're also practicing ill will toward yourself. You're going along with them thinking, yeah, maybe they're right. Maybe he's got a point. Maybe she's right about me. Instead of forgetting about all those labels, forgetting about all that gossip. I mean, that's really the thing to do. Forget about it. Throw it out. Say that's none of our business. People want to gossip about us. That has nothing to do with us. We don't have this sort of obligation to say, oh, no, that's not true. That's not true. I'm different than that. Oh, no. We don't have this obligation to prove ourselves or prove anything at all. The only thing that's worth proving is that we can be happy right now. But we don't have to prove that to anyone. We don't have to show people that. We just do it. Yeah, we can be happy right now. We can be okay. Wow, it's nice to see that. Happy to see that. That's good enough.
Yeah.
Remember, those people who throw labels, those people who gossip, in the different parts of society that try to put you in a box. They don't know you. Shoot, you don't even know you. So yeah, those things they say about you, they don't mean a thing. How could they?
Mm.
We can be happy forgetting about that stuff. All right. Anything else? Anything else to add? Any questions?
I have not much to add. Since Alec is here, does he have anything to add?
Sure. I was thinking about this last little bit you were talking about and how often people's frustrations with you or how you live up to their expectations has more to do with, if it's your boss, it has to do with their sense of that they're going to make enough money from you, or if it's your parents that they wanted to, that the person that they raised is going to reflect that they're a good parent in the eyes of whoever's judging them.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's a great point, Alec. Thank you for that. So yeah, stop judging others. Yeah, people are still going to judge you. Don't turn that into judgment of yourself. Don't allow that to be what you say in your own mind. Don't repeat that, right? Do you know what makes gossip gossip? It's when somebody says something about somebody else and then it gets repeated by other people. And then that repetition, that's when people start to twist the story and they add in their own opinions and things like that. And then the gossip can become really dangerous and even ruin someone's life.
I've seen that.
Yeah, we've all seen that. And so don't repeat the gossip in here, because you're just adding your own views when you do that. Your own interpretations, your own stories. So forget about doing it. All right.
Thank you.
Yep. Thanks, Ivan. Don't worry. Be happy. Put on a smile. Enjoy the breath. Take it easy. We'll see you.
See you, Mikey. See you, Alec.
Yeah. Take
Bye,
care.
guys. Thanks for the call.
Yeah. See you.